Have you ever thought about why it is so important to keep your jaw closed? The number of people who ruin their lives, their future, their opportunities, and even their dreams is much higher than you think. One of the biggest reasons behind this is that they talk uncontrollably. Those who get drunk with happiness and reveal all their secrets realize after a while that things have gone wrong, but they never understand why. On the other hand, those who lose their temper and speak without thinking hurt not only others but also themselves. The secret to breaking this chain and regaining control of your life is to learn the power of silence. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, gives us this advice full of wisdom. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth because listening is more valuable than speaking. Confucius also said, "True knowledge is knowing when to be silent." Silence is not weakness. On the contrary, it is a wise choice. In today's video, we will explore how you can harness the power of silence to accelerate your personal growth and shape your life. Once you adopt this wise approach, you will start to observe positive changes in your life. If you are ready, here we go. 1. Discover the power of silence. From the moment we open our eyes to life, we are encouraged to express ourselves. Our first words are greeted with enthusiasm by our loved ones. But over time, we can forget that silence is just as effective a means of communication as speaking. Yet silence can say a lot about yourself and your intentions. It can even help people understand you better. Silence can show deep respect and attention to your surroundings. Strategic silence, rather than constant talking, sometimes attracts more attention and has more impact than you might think. Unnecessarily long conversations can undermine your authority and knowledge. This can reduce people's respect and trust in you. Instead of coming across as a wise person, you may have the opposite effect. However, when you replace the urge to speak with the ability to listen, you have found an important key to personal growth. Silence is a powerful step towards wisdom. Stoicism emphasizes the virtues of moderation and wisdom. When we apply these virtues in our social relationships, we can solve and minimize many relationship problems. For example, consider Jack and Mark, who work in the same company. They are both aspiring managers with different communication styles. Jack shares his thoughts at every opportunity, often speaks up in meetings, and sometimes even interrupts others. Mark observes more, keeps quiet, and speaks only when he really needs to say something. One day there are problems with an important project in the company. Jack immediately proposes solutions, but they have not been thought through and are not feasible. Mark first analyzes the situation, listens to the opinions of his teammates, and then proposes a logical, workable solution. In the end, Mark's solution is accepted and appreciated. As this example shows, silence and listening are valuable not only in business, but in all aspects of life. Ask yourself these questions. What opportunities have I missed in my life? Why did I talk unnecessarily? Have there been moments when I wish I had kept quiet? Just as talking too much has become a habit, the habit of listening can also be developed. Stoicism teaches us to train ourselves, to develop our minds. The more you learn to listen to the other person, the stronger you become. Jack could have achieved better results if he had been restrained and analyzed the situation first, instead of offering immediate solutions. Moderation is a tool that protects us from exaggerating, overreacting, and talking unnecessarily. Mark chose the path of wisdom and spoke at the right time and was appreciated for it. 2. Don't talk about your plans. Let's think about it. When something new happens in our lives that excites us, we have a strong urge to share it with everyone. I've found the love of my life. I've been offered a new job. I'm thinking of getting married. I have a meeting next week. I'll tell you a secret, but don't tell anyone. Do these sentences sound familiar? Have you ever thought about why sharing our plans with others can be harmful? Epictetus said, "To say what you are going to do is to praise yourself for something that has not yet happened. Instead, speak when your actions have been accomplished." Marcus Aurelius warns, if you plan to do something, don't announce it publicly, but do it quietly. At first glance, sharing your dreams and projects before they become reality may seem like a way to seek support and motivation. However, this is actually detrimental to your own motivation. Psychological research shows that people who talk a lot about their plans are less likely to follow through on them. People who announce that they are going to start their own business, change their habits, write a book, or start a new business often struggle to achieve these goals. What is the reason for this? Stoicism is almost like a sub-branch of psychology, so let's look at this from a psychological perspective. When we announce our goals, our brain releases dopamine as if we have achieved them, which gives us a false sense of satisfaction. This demotivates us and makes us complacent. This is similar to a marathon runner pretending that they have finished the race before they have even started. If we are intoxicated with victory before we even set off, we will be less resilient to deal with the challenges ahead. Seneca has this to say about this. Talking about grandiose plans may raise hopes in a moment of weakness, but working in silence will bring ultimate victory. If you really want to succeed, keep this knowledge to yourself. Just like not showing a treasure map to anyone, keep your dreams a secret that belongs only to you. Remember, your achievements will eventually speak for themselves anyway. The famous Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius explains another reason for this. He emphasizes the importance of finding out whether someone is trustworthy before trusting them. Otherwise, you may pay the price for this naivety. Those with whom we share our plans can sometimes undermine us and cause us to give up on our dreams, sometimes without even realizing it. The Stoic statesman and philosopher Seneca said, "Choose carefully the person to whom you entrust your dreams." According to him, a true friend is someone who sincerely wants you to succeed and with whom you can safely share your plans. Unfortunately, not everyone is like that. Therefore, get to know the character of the other person well and act accordingly. When something good happens in our lives or we realize a dream, it is of course nice to share it. However, we should choose who and when to share it with. Your achievements will already be noticed and appreciated by everyone after they have been achieved. So only share your dreams with people who really support you and contribute to your progress. 3. Keep your opinion. Stoicism is a profound philosophy that teaches us not only to transcend our own thoughts, but also to see the world from different perspectives. One of the most liberating of these teachings is that we don't always have to react, and that sometimes it is wiser to keep our opinions to ourselves. Nowadays, with the influence of social media, we have the misconception that we have to express an opinion on everything. Questions such as, "What is the best movie this year?" or "What do you think about that celebrity's latest post?" constantly demand that we express an opinion. Stoicism offers us a powerful alternative here: silence or consciously choosing not to form an opinion. Understanding that we don't have to have an opinion on everything increases our inner freedom. As Plato said, wisdom is knowing what should be spoken. Emperor Marcus Aurelius also supports this point of view, saying, "Every minute that we spend concerned with the lives of others is a minute that we steal from our own life and development." We can apply this approach not only in superficial discussions, but also in our relationships with those closest to us. For example, instead of criticizing your brother's choices, judging your neighbor's lifestyle, or evaluating your nephew's behavior, we can direct our energy towards our own development. As the Buddha said, when we control our own minds, the need to judge others disappears. Stoicism teaches us to replace empty criticism with constructive action. Helping others instead of judging them, supporting them instead of criticizing them, both increase our inner peace and help us build healthier relationships around us. When we realize that being in control of our opinions means being in control of what we say, we achieve mental freedom. Sometimes it is best to have no opinion at all about something and enjoy this freedom. As Marcus Aurelius said, we determine what effect an event will have on us. Events by themselves do not have the power to shape our judgment. 4. Limit meddlesome access. Nosy people rarely question whether we want or need their opinions. They speak impulsively and carelessly, like a garden hose gushing uncontrollably. In every situation they encounter, such people try to justify their behavior under the veil of sincerity. Victor Hugo, in his unforgettable work Les Miserables, deepens the meaning of honesty with these words: "Honesty is not saying everything you think, but thinking everything you say." To be truly honest is not to say everything openly, but to think about the impact of every word. Honesty and candor do not mean disrespecting the other person, but rather choosing our words carefully. Therefore, setting clear boundaries in our relationships is a sign of respect for ourselves and others. People who speak without thinking, like a person wandering randomly through a minefield, can harm others by saying the wrong thing at the wrong time, in the wrong place, to the wrong person. If you do not make your boundaries clear, you cannot expect others to understand them. This can make you feel like you are lost in a maze. So never hesitate to express your personal boundaries in a clear, kind, and respectful way. The slave philosopher Epictetus gives us some wise advice in the face of life's challenges. Everything has two arms. One you can handle, the other you cannot. We cannot control the behavior of others, but we can choose how we react to that behavior. If someone is interfering in your life and speaking inappropriately, you may not be able to change that person. However, you can make a choice to protect yourself from these negative influences, like closing the gates of a castle against external dangers. When you encounter such situations, you can talk to the person privately and make your discomfort clear. You can let him or her know that this kind of behavior is damaging your relationship and that you will reconsider your friendship if it continues. This not only strengthens your self-esteem, but also clearly teaches the other person how to behave. Setting boundaries. Setting boundaries is like the roots of a tree firmly planted in the ground. It sustains us and allows us to build healthier, more balanced relationships. Setting boundaries and expressing ourselves is not a sign of weakness or cowardice, but rather reflects the posture of an individual who knows and protects their own worth. There is a frequently expressed concern: if I keep silent, will the other person crush me? Will they find courage in our silence? This concern is actually a reflection of a problem that many people carry within themselves. But there is an important point that is overlooked here. You were not really disrespected. You developed a belief that you were disrespected. That's why you got angry and couldn't control yourself. Stoicism gives the following advice in such situations. Most of the time, suffering is not caused by events, but by our judgment of those events. As Marcus Aurelius said, if we remove the thought, "I have been harmed," the harm automatically disappears. Have you ever seen a lion pay attention to a dog barking unnecessarily? Just as the lion does not react to such a situation, we can adopt the same attitude towards those who try to humiliate us. By remaining unresponsive, we can frustrate their energy. Remember, silence is not only a way of reacting, it is also a powerful communication tool. Instead of yelling and screaming at the other person, we can give them the strongest message with our calmness. Remember that a whisper is sometimes more powerful than a scream. In the same way, our silence can sometimes be our most effective response. Epictetus likens it to smoke in a house. If there is a little smoke in the house, I can stay there. But if there is too much smoke, I will leave the house. Similarly, if your boundaries are constantly being violated in a relationship, reassess the situation. At that point, it is time to take steps to protect yourself. Just as a strong root sustains a tree, strong boundaries protect you. 6. Talk less. One of the most important steps in the journey of personal development is to learn to talk less. The philosophy of Stoicism guides us through this process and emphasizes the value of listening rather than talking. Listening absorbs knowledge and wisdom like a sponge absorbs water. Talking, on the other hand, like squeezing this sponge, flushes out the information we have gathered and weakens our power. For example, in a business meeting, someone who talks a lot and tries to impose his or her ideas may be perceived as oppressive and dismissive of others' opinions. In the same meeting, however, someone who listens more, carefully considers others' ideas and shares his or her own after reflection, is seen not only as a more respected leader, but also as a more effective strategist. Listening gives us the opportunity to explore the depths of others and of our own inner worlds. This is one of the cornerstones of becoming a strong leader and of traveling the path of true wisdom. 7. Don't talk emotionally. There is a well-known story of Plato. One day, faced with a situation that deeply angered him, he realized that his emotional reaction was preventing him from making a rational decision. Therefore, he asked his servant for help to solve the problem in a fair way. This moment shows that even Plato, a great philosopher, understood how important it is to control your emotions. Our emotions are powerful energies, like volcanoes, ready to erupt inside us. Left unchecked, they can lead us to speak rashly and say things we later regret. Just as Plato asked his servant to help him avoid the potential mistakes of his anger, we must know how to keep silent in our emotional moments. If we cannot control the silence, we can become prisoners of our words. Some people talk too much when they are happy and openly express future plans or promises they cannot keep. Others talk too much when they are angry and may use uncontrolled expressions in these moments. Remember, a word cannot be taken back, and sometimes the wounds it causes can be huge. Even in an argument, if someone hurts you, it is more valuable to stay unhurt than to hurt them. Because an argument in anger will not heal your wound, it will only deepen it. Choosing silence in the midst of strong emotions is like thinking carefully before making a move in a chess game. Instead of letting our emotions drive us, we should try to get to the root and understand why we feel the way we do. In this way, we can make better and more effective decisions and avoid hurting loved ones or breaking promises. I hope this video will help you understand the value of silence and help you integrate this power into your own life. Each of us carries within us a treasure waiting to be discovered, and silence is the key to this treasure. Using this key, we can get to know ourselves more deeply, build more meaningful relationships, and experience life more consciously. If you have been on this journey with me and have been inspired by the words shared here, please leave a comment. Together we can grow and evolve through the power of silence. Remember, silence is only the beginning. The real transformation begins after that. Thank you for watching.